Doesn't get much easier for Blackburn Rovers as they head into this weekend's action up against hot to trot, hotly tipped, hotly fancied Birmingham City. Can Rovers end the week strong? Well, we're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at, of course, Blackburn Rovers' next match is back in the Championship and hoping to get ourselves a bit of glory. Can we get it, though? Who's in our way? Well, I'll tell you in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers Championship football. Whoa, football. We're going to, here under Roverseas here. That's right, today's opponents is Hollywood FC. That's right, Birmingham City are in town. Of course, Tom Brady and his bags of cash, who of course will be in the opposition dugout and hoping to build upon their good start to the campaign. But what about Rovers? Can we get off the blocks in our opening league game of the campaign? Well, we'll take a little look in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep end. Taking all this. That's right. Blackburn Rovers taking on Birmingham City. That's right. And it's all coming at you right here, right now, over at Ewood Park. That will be the venue. That's right. Of course, they were in at Ewood Park on Tuesday night, where, of course, they had a bit of a disappointing display against Bradford City. But hoping this is going to be a little bit different. But in the spotlight today, it will be Valerian Ismail, of course, coming at you with a 1.68 points per match ratio. He's actually managed against Birmingham 4 times, and he's won each and every one of those matches. That's, of course, probably at Watford, West Brom, Barnsley. But I don't think he's had the joy of managing against them with Blackburn Rovers. So, hopefully, we'll also see the creative wizard, that is Todd Cantwell, who was not involved in the opening league match of the season. He did have some minutes in the game against Bradford City, where he did look very bright considering what was on display. Now, we don't have much data to work upon for Blackburn Rovers. This is from our one and only league match, which we did not score a goal. We did concede, but we did have a 56% possession. However, it was a very dull performance from Rovers, no real attacking threat. So we had all the ball, but we didn't do anything with it. We also come out of it with no yellow cards thus far. Just pretty much an underwhelming start to the campaign. Moving forward, as we look forward to, of course, this next game against Birmingham, we want to take a little look back at, of course, some of the possession-based stats here. Of course, the goal by West Bromwich Albion come from a set piece. A bit of a madcap ball there. Of course, the goals against Bradford City are not added to this graphic, which we did concede 2 of. One goalkeeping absolutely error there, and the other was a bit of a madcap breakdown of the defence. So not reflected on the graphic. But of course, this was the possession-based stats for Rovers coming into this. They did, when on the ball, prefer to come down the left-hand side than the right. And again, when in possession, again, a good start to the season. 35% possession in the opposition third, 27% in our defensive third, which of course usually, typically with Rovers, it's the other way around. So front foot football, but really no end product. Kicking on forward though, of course, the shots, when we did take a shot in that 1-0 league match, it was pretty much evenly split down the left and the right. And of course, the shots were also evenly split within the 6-yard area and way outside the box, 40%. Efforts, of course, and the directions from the shots received, 23% coming down the right hand side from West Brom there, 38% long range cookies. So that's what we started with. Will we continue to do that? Well, we'll see in a little minute here, of course, but looking forward at the star players thus far. Now, this may have had some bearing considering from the Canada Cup match this week, so the numbers have changed a little bit here, as you can see. Todd Cantwell leads the charge here with an 8.2 average rating, and that was only from like a 15-20 minute cameo. So again, can't read too much into this. Also, Dion Denevra up there with 7.4. We did get a goal, and of course the main man with the shots per match is Mac Tagay thus far with 3 efforts. It was a little bit hard done by Doctor to score. I think the goalkeeper had a blinder that day at Bradford City, but ultimately we should have won that game. But we didn't. So yeah, I think a lot of these numbers here are reflected from that match. We've got Michalski in there, we got Kristen Montgomery in there, so a lot of players that did not really feature in at all in that match against West Brom. Moving forward, let's take a look then at the transfer business from Blackburn Rovers. This is some of the key moves that we have made. Axel Henriksen coming in from the Gay IAS. Lewis Miller making the move from Hibs as well. Sean McLaughlin, Ryan Leblosu, Sidney Tavares, and Dion Denevra. Those are the key faces that we brought in. We're hoping to at least add at least one more, but probably going to, I would assume we'll add a few more than that, because the quality at the moment is not there. It may all click into gear at one point, and who knows? This might be the game that actually does something crazy, because everyone's tipping us to lose. Like, everyone's tipping us to lose quite bad. But who knows? We might be able to get something going against these hotly fancied Birmingham lot. Deals going out. Callum Britton has left, of course, to go to Borough. Tyrese Dolan, of course, we're making the switch to Espanyol. They kick off their campaign this weekend. Joe Rankin-Stella going to Charlton. Zach Gilson to Grimsby. Wyman, Bath to Derby. O'Riordan to Doncaster on loan. And Tina Markandale also making the switch to Chesterfield. So those are the moves. This is the players that we have, according to my knowledge. We have Blasserstoff, Pears and Barrett. Pears was not featured at all on the bench either of the last two games, so we can assume he is done. Meanwhile, we've yet to see Carter. He's been on the injury block there. And of course, an appearance apiece for Ribeiro and Pickering thus far. I do anticipate Ribeiro to come back in this next match. Meanwhile, in the midfield section, we've got the likes of Buckley, who did have some minutes, so maybe it's not a lost cause just yet for him, but it does look like he is on borrowed time. Meanwhile, Lewis Travis is in this squad picture here, but I don't know if he's ever going to feature back again. He was involved to a point in the game in the midweek on the bench, but he had a face of thunder on his chops there, so I think he's trying to moan his way out at the moment. And then up top, of course, Yuki's there, McTagay, Cargbo, Leonard. I do believe Jack Vela has been released. I think I saw some sort of free transfer squad camp or something, and he was involved with that, so I don't think he's here anymore. Now, this is the most expensive lineup that we could have, with Pears between the sticks. He's the highest valued goalkeeper according to Transfermarkt. Pickering, Wharton, Hyam, Britton, Buckley, Travis, Cantwell, Denev, Hedges and Gay. Again, very limited quality in regards to the wingers, and hopefully that will change. That's the most expensive. I'm not saying that will be the 11. This is the 11 that was played in the last game against West Brom. I do think it's going to be similar to that. I think Henriksen might make a way, or maybe Henriksen goes us onto the right-hand side where Hedges is for this match, or maybe Ryan Ablosu comes up to the right-hand side where Hedges is, and Miller comes in at right back. Already playing square pegs in round holes, which of course doesn't give me much food for thought. Anyway, coming into this, Rovers form is like this. Back-to-back defeats so far this season in the league and in the cup. If we can get something positive this weekend, that will be great, because right around the corner we have these games: Hull City away, Norwich at home, Watford away, Ipswich at home, and then Charlton away. Because it does look a little bit more palatable moving forward, but we do have some tricky games in amongst that, and games at the moment where I don't feel confident enough that we're going to get many points right now. Just from the atmosphere, I think it's a negative Nelly environment right now, which of course could shape the season and could put us in a right old shit spot before we really even get going, before we even get into September. And that's of course what we don't want. Standing in our way though is Birmingham City, with of course Chris Davis at the helm there, picking up a 2.33 points per match ratio. Of course that was in League One, where they did spend a lot of money. James Stansfield being one of those. I think spent 15 million on him. Of course, and he is a quality striker. He's already got a couple of goals this season, one in the cup, one in the league. These are the standout players as well thus far. Keshi Anderson with a 7.8, Jay Stansfield up there with a 7.5 as well. Again, this may be just from the league match there. Yeah, Jay Stansfield's one and only goal was in the league, and yeah, 3 shots per match as well. That's an average. Again, these stats will change and get a bit more detailed as the season comes by, but so far with a 6.61 ratio there for possession, or at least performance. It's not great though there for Birmingham. They did pick up a draw. I think Rovers may have outperformed them, perhaps. I don't know. One goal, of course, by them scored. It was I think they did own the match against Ipswich Town, but they were just a little bit hard done by the end. So 51% possession as well for the Brummies here. So we'll see who comes out of the box. So far, everybody's just giving them, all the plaudits here for the way they're playing, so I'm not too sure how much of a chance Rovers stand in this one. Coming into this, their one goal did come through open play. The other goal conceded by them was via a penalty. As for the possession stats, they look a little bit like this. They also prefer the left-hand side to the right, but when in possession, more often than not, 29% in the defensive third, 27% in the attacking third. When, of course, they've had a shot, 18% of it's come down the left-hand side, 73% down the middle. None of their efforts are in the 6-yard box, which I find quite hard to believe, because didn't they score from within the 6-yard area? Didn't they score from the 6-yard area in that game against Ipswich? I don't know. Anyway, when they've conceded shots, they've come down the left-hand side, not the right. Pretty much airtight down that right-hand side, and more often than not, 14% of the shots are down the outside of the box there. So a couple of long range efforts. Moving forward, their business has been quite attractive as well on the eye, spending a bit of cash as well. They got in Marvin Dukes, who could feature today or this coming weekend. Ian Kashan, a player that we were softly linked with. I'm starting to get a little bit wise to some of these links now from Blackburn Rovers, because they have been pretty woeful in regards to going through and delivering it. They brought in Fujimoto there from Gil Vicente out of Portugal. Kyogo Fugarashi is looking a gem of a player so far. Damari Gray, Bright Asai Samuel there. Tommy Doyle coming in on loan. James Beadle as well. Gardner Hickman. Phil Newman. I think those players may have arrived at the back end of last season. They've lost a few players. Dion Sanderson's gone to Derby. Luganglo's gone to Motherwell. Yokohama's gone to Genk there. And Romel Donovan. There might be more. I think there is more. Yeah, it's they've got a really good squad. Probably if I don't think they're done yet. That's what I read or heard the other day. So I think they're still looking to make moves. So it could be a explosive end to the transfer window for them. This is, of course, the squad on paper right now. They've got James Beadle between the sticks here. Ryan Alsop, I think I did feature in the cup. I think he was ousted by a long range effort by Gus Hamer. Into the defensive ranks, the likes of Bright Sammy Samuel there, of course, who's brought in as a defender. Bilic, I believe, is on his way out. He could actually make the switch to West Brom. Buchanan has not been mentioned so far. Christopher Clark looks like a man mountain at the back as well. Into midfield, the likes of Damari Gray. You got Sung Hung Pak, another player we were linked with back in the John Eustace days. And up top, Fugarashi, Dukes, Jay Stansfield, Dykes, Tyler Robertson. Very good quality across the board. Meanwhile, this is the most expensive lineup that they could feature. Beadle, Cochrane, Cashin, Clara, Osai, Samuel, Doyle, Williamson, Stansfield, Fugarashi, Fujimoto, and Dushk. It is a very expensive 11. I'll tell you just about the value difference between the two sides in just a moment here. Of course, this is the squad that did feature in that cup game. Alsop, Cochrane, Newman, Clara, Osai, Samuel, Iwata, Paik, Gray, Stansfield, Fugarashi. It was a difficult match, of course, up against Sheffield United, so they did pull no stops. Of course, this is their resume thus far, opening up with a 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town, and then followed up with a 2-1 win over Sheffield United. Both of those games were at St Andrews, so take from that from what you will. So the first away game for Birmingham, and see if they're going to test their mettle. Following that up, they'll take on Oxford back at St Andrews, then they'll take on Port Vale as well. So 4 of the first 5 matches for Birmingham will be at St Andrews, that also can add to the momentum and add to the belief that they could go the whole distance here as well. But who knows? Of course, they're going to test their mettle to see, if they do hit a rough patch, what happens next? Well, of course, coming into this, their form against Rovers is, not the greatest. They played Rovers 45 times since the year 2000. Rovers winning 19 of them. Birmingham winning 13 of them. There's been 13 draws between the two sides. Rovers coming into it's not the best bit of form right now. 3 defeats on the spin, stretching back into pre-season. Birmingham on the back of just 1 defeat heading into this. Of the 45 matches, Rovers have a 4-0 win, as do Birmingham. We have scored 72 goals compared to their 55, and we've got a 1.60 goals a game ratio compared to West Brom. But the valuations of the squad are completely chalk and cheese here. Rovers just 38 million euros, Birmingham 98 million euros. They have a valuation of around about 3.39 million euros a player compared to 1.41. Squad age is around about the same, but they have more national team players than we do, and more foreigners than we do. So they've just got a lot of talent in there, and it's good time to be a Birmingham City fan at the moment. But coming into this, though, over the recent run of games between the two sides, Rovers are in the front foot, winning 3 of them, losing 2 of them, and just drawing them once. However, the last time that these two sides played, it was at St Andrews, and Birmingham did win, and it was a 1-0 win way back in February 2024. It's typically, looking back at it, so just the 2 wins for Birmingham over the last 6. Both of those were at St Andrews. If you look at the back, last 6 then at Ewood. We do have a good record against Birmingham. We are unbeaten against them in the last 6, including a big 4-2 win last time we played with the likes of Smodic, a couple of goals there, James Hill, Harry Leonard. We've got to roll back the years for the last time they beat us. Another moment right now, I'd love to come out of this with something. I don't know what. If we can get a cheeky draw, maybe, or maybe even snatch a 1-0 Arsenal win, that would be also fantastic. So kicking on forward, this is of course a quick look at the last 10 between the two sides. The red being that of Birmingham, who won 2 of the last 3, if you want to look at it that way. Coming into this, the table looks a little bit like this. Of course, it is still early days, nothing to get too worried about just yet. Of course, Birmingham up and running with a point. Rovers, of course, opening up with a defeat to West Bromwich Albion. Now, of course, the strengths and the weaknesses coming in is, again, early data in the board right here, right now. We have Rovers' strengths protecting the lead, finishing scoring chances is one of our weaknesses, avoiding individual errors and defending set pieces. We like to play out wide, control the game in the opposition half, cross off and allow opponents to play aggressively against us, while we are also playing non-aggressive. As for Birmingham, their strengths are defending set pieces, aerial duels, protecting the lead. Their style play is short passes, through balls often, coming down the left-hand side, and opponents play aggressively against them. Again, it's not much to work from the one game, but it's where we stand right now. Coming into this, it is a stacked agenda here at the Championship. We're all kicking off early doors on Saturday with Wrexham taking on West Brom in the Battle of the W's. Meanwhile, same time, Derby take on Coventry, Portsmouth take on Norwich, in, of course, those early door kickoffs. Then into the 3 o'clock games, we have Preston, Leicester, Swansea, Sheffield United, Watford against QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke, Millwall, and Middlesbrough, Bristol City, Charlton, to wrap up the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We will be live, though, watching Rovers against Birmingham at Ewood Park. Into Sunday, we have Ipswich against Southampton, Hull against Oxford to complete the pack. Now, of course, I did ask the pundits out there, the old pundits, when I say the pundits, I mean you guys, for your opinions for this game. And this was the vote, of course. A lot of people backing Birmingham City right here, right now, with 67% of the vote going in favour of our visitors. Rovers just the 26th, the draw is at 6. So not much belief from the Rovers fans. I mean, this is a Rovers fan channel, of course, but we do have an eclectic subscriber base that do watch all kinds of football. But that's just them, guys. What about me? What do I think will happen in this match coming at you up against Birmingham City at Ewood Park? Well, I'm hoping for something. I'm hoping for a response from Rovers. Of course, the goalkeeper will be back to Toth. We should have a stronger looking back line there. And I just hope that the performance is better and we can get something out of this game. I think we just need something. Ultimately, though, I don't think it's going to be that much of an entertaining match in regards to a Blackburn Rovers fan. I think it will be Birmingham City on the front foot for the most part, and Rovers just hoping to get something positive and get the wheels of change going. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go with a really optimistically boring 0-0 draw here, which means Rovers get a point. We get the home campaign off to a start. We take points off of some of the alleged big boys, and then hopefully we can build upon that moving forward. So that's the positivity that we got to do. We got to change the vibe right now at Ewood Park. We've got off the field dramas in regards to Lewis Travis. We're trying to go and hook up with his brother from another mother. That is John Eustace. And right now we just need something good, some positive. Whether it's some contract news from somebody else. Just get the vibe back, get the fans back on side, because right now you're losing them, and you're doing it quite easily. Just a reminder that will be live Friday evening for Rovers Rant live phone-in show. Try to do that every pre-game where you can jump on and have a chat with me and talk about the Rovers news of the week or the game coming at you. So come and join us live. It's around about 10 o'clock UK time. And I will be here, and you can join me live. But until then, I appreciate your loving. Before I go, I'm going to hand you over to Eddie to talk about our away day travel scheme that we're trying to get up and running. Of course, the next match will be an away match. I don't know if we're trying to get that one going, but if you are interested, use the link that Eddie will show you here. And then, of course, if we can get the numbers right, then maybe we can get a minibus or maybe even a coach set up for the trip to Hull City, I think. But if not, we're probably looking for the matches after the international break. But anyway, Eddie, take it away.
Ewood Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Roverseas hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk, in the studio.
Thanks again, Eddie. Appreciate that, of course, and I look forward to seeing what Rovers have in store this weekend. Can we bounce back? Well, it's over to you now, Big Val. Show what we all talk about, of course, and we'll be here watching you on the watch along. But until then, see you soon. I'm done and I'm out.